So we've had educators from across the world who've been working alongside Microsoft and Q, delivering sessions every single day. And it's been, if you could say, professional development overload. But the great thing is it's completely free. And even if only now you're discovering Getter, don't worry. Because if you go to aka.ms/getter schedule, you will see the sessions that are to come, but also there'll be a link to the YouTube playlist. So you'll be able to go back and watch all of the sessions that have been previously that have been recorded thanks to Microsoft Teams. And remember the hashtags. If you go on and you just search for hashtag Getter, you are going to see the educators from across the world who will daily be letting you know whether they are presenting or whether there are others presenting and what to look out for. And it's been an amazing summer, amazing summer.
Yeah, with a lot of great presenters like my dear friend Lanny Watkins. So before we go any further, we just want to introduce ourselves. And we had a slide about that. We decided to take it out and just go kind of casual with this. I'm Kathi Kerzsnowski. My name is Kathi Kerzsnowski. I'm from Southern New Jersey. My day job is that I'm a technology coach, or a technology integration specialist is my real title. In other words, I teach teachers. I teach them how to integrate technology in purposeful and relevant ways into the instruction that they're already doing with their pupils. And like I said, I'm an MIE expert, so I'm all in with Microsoft products. I'm also a student voice ambassador for Flipgrid, and I'm on the Flipgrid Student Voice Ambassador Executive Board as well. I'm just like a lifer Flipgrider kind of a person too. And I love a lot of other ed tech products and companies that are working with Microsoft and with Flipgrid. It's a great time to be involved in ed tech. It's a really exciting time.
So I'm Lanny. That's what everyone calls me, Lanny, but my mum calls me Paul. I'm from Wales in the UK. Just to make sure, in case anyone's confused, Wales is not part of England. We are a separate country. We're a very proud country. And just as we're a proud country, I am equally as proud this year for the last academic year, I've been the MIE Fellow for Wales. So it's been supporting teachers and supporting schools across the country who really want to invest in developing their use of Microsoft products across their school. And just like Kathi, I sit on the Flipgrid Student Voice Ambassador Executive Board, which is a real privilege. And if there is a tool that I know has impact on teaching and learning, I will shout about it from the mountaintops. And actually, I've got Kathi to thank for helping me kind of get started with Flipgrid. And it was a met at bet moment where I was Skype in the classroom, Kathi was there kind of promoting Flipgrid. And that's where kind of this friendship started, and mentorship as well, if you could say that as well. And it's been an amazing, amazing journey. But yeah, so that's me.
And we've been friends ever since. We met 3 years ago at that show in London, and Lanny has taught me things and I've taught him things, and now we're just lifelong friends. So let's get started with some of the cool Flipgrid things. Wait until you see the next slide we're going to show you. Hold on to your hats. If you saw my tweet, hold on to your hats, put on your seatbelt. Because this is what Lanny and I did. But who's counting? We went through Flipgrid, the new interface, and we just started listing things that we found that were new. And oh my gosh, it's 25. Now that sounds like a lot. Actually, that is a lot. And I think that if we checked in with the team at Flipgrid, the developers, the engineers who have been working on this, there probably are more. I think I know I missed at least one because I saw a tweet from Ann Cosma earlier today and I thought, oh, I forgot to put that on the list. But so we're going to try to cover 25 updates that we've noticed. As we go through this, we're going to kind of assume that you have a familiarity with Flipgrid, that you've used it or heard about it and you know what it is. If you've never used it, you will definitely pick up some tidbits as we go through this as far as what it can do and where things are. But we will give you some resources and some places that you can go if you are a total newbie and you really want to start with from scratch tutorials. We're assuming that a lot of the people who joined here really just wanted an overview of what the updates were that happened last week and what they look like in real life and ways to use them. So that's what we're going to go through. Go ahead.
We're getting some comments in the chat at the moment that people can't see the slides. I don't know if that's a general thing or if it's just one or two people. A few people can see that they can saying that they can see it. So I don't know if it's worthwhile if you're having problems whether kind of leave the meeting and join again. But
I have another idea. It's happened to me before too. So in Microsoft Teams, on the screen that you're seeing down across the bottom are a bunch of initials of all the different people who are in there. You can probably see a video picture of Lanny and of me. There may be one small thumbnail that looks like a slide. It's bright white right now and it has the Flipgrid logo on it. If you click on that, it will make it fill your whole screen. I hope that helps. So the list that you're looking at, and hopefully you've been kind of reading through, you know what, it really unintentionally, but then intentionally, it kind of fell into three main categories. So I'll talk about these briefly, and we'll just come back to this at the very end of the whole presentation and show you again. These things over here have to do with sort of the introductory interface. What does it look like when you first get into Flipgrid? What are some of the changes to setting up topics and grids and things that we knew from before? What looks new as far as the whole setup? The middle part, honestly, that's the part I'm most excited about. I like all the make it pretty stuff. So the new filters and the new frames and the new tchotchkes and the things that we can decorate and make it exciting with. So I like all of those things. Those are things we kind of put in the middle. And then the last ones over here are just extra things that we definitely wanted to include because they're awesome, awesome features about how the videos play and what other resources are within the Flipgrid website. And we decided we didn't want to do too many slides today because there's enough to demo. So Lanny and I have each printed out this slide and we're going to checklist our way through it and see if we can show you all these things. All right, ready, Lanny?
I think I am. This is going to be epic.
Let's have at it then. All right, I'm controlling the screen, but so I'll just take the first two if that's okay with you, Lanny.
You go for it.
Okay, so I'll take the first two, and the first one that we notice is the whole home screen looks different of Flipgrid, right? And the thing that I like about this is the join code is right up here at the top now. So in the past, when I had done trainings on this, I usually had to direct people, and the join code was further down the screen in the middle here. That's up at the top. It's clear. It's right there where everybody can see it, and so I think that's a nice addition to the home screen. And just as you go down, everything about this, when you just first go to flipgrid.com, is a little bit different. They've updated it. There's a brand new promo video. They've put all the getting started and the help things. So if you're one of those people who's completely new, this is where you go, right? It's right there on the homepage. And then they talk about some of the partnerships that they have. So it's a beautiful, beautiful new homepage where we would go to log in. All right, so that was number one. And the second one is that the educator dashboard has a new look. In order to show you that, I've got to log in. So because I already have an account, I'll click on educator login. I could log in with my Google account or my Microsoft account. I have one of each of those. I also have I have several Flipgrid accounts. I'm going to use this one, which I signed up for 100 years ago with my email, and I do a lot of my PD using this one. So this is my Kersey one. All right, and just if you're a Flipgrid user, this looks different to you already, right? So there's a few things here. It says discussion right at the top because, you know, isn't that the heart of Flipgrid? You know, it's sharing and discussing. So we noticed that from the very beginning. And I don't want to go too much further because it looks like the next two are yours, Lanny, and I will move my cursor and point to whatever you talk about. Okay.
So I don't know about you, but when I saw this kind of layout, kind of subtle changes in the page, maybe with some of the icons, or all of a sudden it like Flipgrid means business, and it's got a kind of really kind of strong professional now kind of appearance to it. Just changing that icon alongside the discussion really got me thinking. But you'll also notice the big thing, that grids are no longer there. they're now called groups. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes when you explain to people kind of how grids work in Flipgrid, the concept is easy enough to understand. But in the way the word has now changed, it kind of makes sense straight away, exactly what you were trying to do. So if you are a teacher who has multiple classes, it's easy now to kind of understand what those grids are. Or if you have got different groups and you're kind of working with younger pupils and you're with them all day, again, it groups is easy for you to understand. Now then, this is where it gets really, really cool, because previously you may want to have done a task with your pupils. It's the start of the school year and you want them to introduce themselves, where previously you would have had to have created a grid, or right now you'd have to create a group, and then you would add a single topic within it. And that grid may stand alone with one single topic in it, no more. Because now we can have stand-alone topics, and you can see that there just above where Kathy's clicked on it now, and we have got these options to create a new topic which stands alone, which doesn't have to sit within a grid. And what you'll see is when you click on topics, it will actually show you all of the topics that you've already created across all of your grids. And when we go into it, we'll also notice that the form has, in appearance, changed, and actually it's easier to follow. So we go through the same process that we would if we were creating a topic previously. We're able to put our title in, we can put our prompts in, and just remember as well, those of you who don't do it, if you want to kind of help pupils to engage them a bit more, remember we can use emojis as well in there to help with picture recognition for what maybe the pupils need to be doing. And we got that nice little editing option that's in there, and we can add links in there as well. But then as we look over to the left-hand side, right-hand side, just where the cursor is now, we notice that there's two options here. So when I click on Access Control, we'll notice that it will change ever so slightly with the way that it lays out. And it gives us this option where previously we had three different access options that were there. Now we've kind of narrowed it down to two. Do we want to keep it private so that we control who has access to it, or do we want it to be public where anyone who's got a link is able to see it? And from here we have two options. We can go through where we can select the email address, the domain, so that the pupils can actually access it that way by logging on. And if that email address doesn't kind of line up with what you've listed there, they won't have access to it, giving it that important security that is so important today with schoolwork and accessing digital content. But then we have this option underneath for guest password, so that if a family member wishes to see it, they can actually use that password and be able to see their children's work. And you will set up a password there so that actually you're involving the parents and they don't have to wait to kind of come into school to see the pupils' work, but they can see it from home as well. And any guests, if you are working with a partner within the community, that they are able to access it there. And you define the password with the guidance underneath where it's telling you the kind of make sure that you've got two of the following criteria, as well as a minimum of 8 characters. And then we've got this student username, where actually pupils can have a username created for them and they are able to access the groups. And I'm trying so hard to make sure that I say groups and topics the right way. I don't want to get that wrong. It's the first time. So the topics and the groups, they're able to access it using a username that's been created. And you can see there's a template there with a CSV file that you can easily add and upload, so that it saves you time in having to go through and creating all of those as well. And once again, that option is there for a guest password. Kathy, we've got more options again on top of this, haven't we?
I love, it's just a new interface and it really looks nice. I like how they've put this over here almost like a little table of contents or a sidebar to direct us down for all the options that we can use when we're creating a topic. So not a lot new here. These are the, you know, the same kinds of header prompts that we could use to inspire our kids to do something. I notoriously pick a Jiffy. So the name of this is Whoa. So let me put Whoa in there. And I don't know who that girl is, but we'll just say, there you go, submit. And oops. All right, so now I have that in there. That's the same as it's always been, but I just like the whole new look of it. Guest passwords is a great thing. By the way, if anybody wants to hop in this grid while we're playing, the password, the grid code. Oops, is it the group code? No, I think it's still the grid code. The grid code for this one is Kathi Lanny. So KATHILANNY will get you in, and it's a public grid, so you can start posting if you'd like to at any point. I just put a guest password on here, and that is the opposite. It's Lanny Kathi, all lowercase. So if you want to kind of hop in here now or later, or even later, anybody who's watching the recording later, you can have at it. You can hop into this grid that we created just for this today. One of the things that is new, and I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, is this more options button here. So it's the same things that we had before, it's just in a new place, and we didn't want you to miss it. So let me click on new options, and those of you who are familiar with all the setting choices that you had, here's where they are. They're down in that more options button, and we definitely don't want you to miss it. So if you're doing attachments, which I love to do, if you're attaching an article or something, or a Google Doc or a Hyperdoc or something that you've created, this is where you can do that. You can make your topic active or frozen. You know, those of you who are familiar, this all looks comfortable to you. It's just in a new place, right?
I like the way, Kathi, it just shows you the bare minimum for what you need to do to actually get up and running and get started, that you don't need to tick loads of boxes and loads of options. You can so quickly get up and running, and just like students grow in confidence as they start to use Flipgrid, as teachers, there's that more options that we can kind of investigate into as we become more confident in using it as well.
Great point. And you know, as soon as I clicked on it, did you see what happened over here on this sidebar? Those more options became part of the sidebar menu. So you can just quickly, you know, click to any of these if you wanted to adjust them. Explore, explore, explore. As our friend Ann Cosma from Flipgrid always says, play to learn. And that's just a great philosophy for all educators. All right, so we've gotten you there. A new thing, I also wanted to come way back out of this. So I'm going to click on the Flipgrid logo to kind of come home. And remember, we had topics and groups. So groups are our former grids. There's something new over in here. Oops. Yes, okay. There's something new over in here that we wanted to show you. I'm going for my list right here. And it's, if I were to create a new group, not grid, a new group, and I named it, I'm just going to name it, I'll name it Hi There. And without my glasses on, I can't seem to do that. You know that when it's a group, or formerly a grid, you can always customize the back end of that. So I will customize this with watermelon. Oh, that's not available. Watermelon 1, 2, 3. Seriously? 4, 5, 6. That'll be the crazy join code. Okay. I should have tested that before we all got on today. And then to create that, we'll just, you would pick student email or student username. So I'll choose student username, and it's going to let me create that. And I would add my students. And I could add as many as I want, a guest password, but I'm going to skip adding topics, but look at this new screen here. So we've got the option here to duplicate topics. This is the tweet that I saw come out from Anne earlier, where it's a time saver. If you have a topic in another group or a standalone topic and you want to put it on this group, formerly grid, now you can quickly just grab it from here and duplicate topics. So it's like a copy paste kind of functionality, which is cool. I'm going to skip it for now because the thing I wanted to show you was that I can go to this crazy group, watermelon, la 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 la. And there are cool new header images. Guys, this is like something a little bit hidden. All right, so here's the default one that it just gave me today, but you all know that we can change this at any point. So let me go to actions, and I'm going to edit my group. You kind of have to go down. This is sort of the same as before, right? It looks a little bit different here, but it's similar. And when we get down here, let me move Lanny out of the way. Sorry, Lanny. You're going way over there. We get down there. Guys, look at this. These are new. Look at these cool, like really 3D. Oh, look at how beautiful. 3D, artistic, awesome. Kids are going to love it. Super inspirational. Look at this wiggly one. Looks like pipe cleaners. They're just brilliant and so much fun. I was so excited when I discovered these the other day, and I think I like this one best. Do you have a favorite, Lanny?
Do you know what? This is going to sound so sad, but you know the default one, it's actually my school's colours. So in a lot of cases, the default one is perfect for my school. But I'm old school, and you know the one, you can see it there, the bottom row, the last one, that colour burst with the powder. That there is one of my all-time favourite kind of grid backgrounds. I absolutely love that. I don't know what it is, I just love it.
I like the super colorful ones too. So I tend to go for this one or this one. But when I saw these, oh, I just got so happy.
Yeah,
And I knew that there was like a Microsoft design team who they partnered with to make this happen. Justin Chando tweeted a thank you at them the other day. So just some really, really cool, exciting new images in there. I can't wait to surprise the kids with them. All right, there was something in our first column that we forgot to show you. Lanny, how about if I get there and you talk about it? It's the new record button.
Okay, so where previously we would have gone for the gone for the green circle. I think there was a green circle that was always there. Now it's kind of got that more authentic feel, I'd say, to recording. And we've got a red button, because the default really, whenever we look at something to record, is a red button. And you look at, I'm going to show my age now. When I used to use my tape recorder, I'd be pushing that red button with the play to kind of start the recording process. And it ties in with what kids would use in the outside world. We love the green Flipgrid button. It was kind of, it meant a lot at that time, and kids knew exactly what was going to happen when he did that. But now we're going for the red button for record that ties in with everything else that they're familiar with that. But the amazing thing is that when we go into that recorder response,
which I'm going to do in just a sec, but I have to tell you, for the sentimental folks in the house like me who are like still tied to that, like, click on the green plus, kind of a thing. Don't worry, it's still part of the logo, so it still lives up there. But this definitely, for our students and our parents, if you're teaching remotely, it really makes it more understandable. Okay, you're going to click here. So look, we've got recorder response, and a recorder icon. This is just more iconic. So let's hop in.
But this is where the magic is now happening for me, and this is where, if you've been on social, you can't get away from it. There are teachers all over the world who are so excited about these updates. There were on August the 5th, I've never seen Twitter like it. When all of these updates landed, it was like Christmas Day for educators. And what we've actually been provided with now in these new tools that are available within the recording process is that it's going to take, you're going to have to turn your camera off, Kathi.
I thought I did, but I will again. Hang on.
All right. It's going to take levels of creativity kind of through the roof for the children. And also for teachers, for those of you who make instructional videos using the Shorts Cam. And here we go, we're in the record, and I love we get these little kind of step messages that flash up that as we go through the process, and then it's just click anywhere to dismiss, and when we click, we get this, we get the process is starting, and there's Kathi. And I don't know about you, but I'd really like to know what these new features are. And can we start with my favorite, Kathi? Can I tell you about my favorite to start with?
Yes, 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 please do.
Now, if you go into the effects, and we're going to go to frames.
That's my favorite too.
And we've got frames galore. And this is where we are going to see pupils really taking creativity to the next level. We have got color splashes, we have got jungles, we've got unicorns and rainbows, we've got photos. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always seen these wonderful videos that in the past Flipgrid have produced, and they've got that photo frame there, and it's like, I'd love to know how to do that. And how many of you pupils do news reports? Breaking news. What have we got there, Kathi? We've got breaking news that our pupils can do news reports in these frames as well. So we've got creativity being taken to the next level in some of these frames. And you don't have to go far on social to see how some teachers are using these new frames already in kind of in preparing for going back to school and drumming up excitement as well.
I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and we've got that. And the other thing that we've got, if we were to follow the whole process of F for frames, I think we're also going to have to go with F for filters. And we have got some new filters that have landed. And I don't know about you, but I love the way that filters have been used creatively by some of our pupils. If they are doing a history assignment, they are able to change the filter to make it look as if they've gone back in time. We have got filters where they can make it look warm, where they can make it look cold. And this one that we have got here, do you know what? All I think is Lego. But when I saw this, it made me think of how engaging that could be in a maths lesson, and especially when we are working with areas. And my daughters have got a plastic version of something like that they've used previously to help them with counting and working out area sizes and things like that. And now we're already seeing some teachers on social who are showing how creative they've been in just using that platform. And also, what a perfect filter for pupils who are shy, who don't want their faces to be seen to start with. But as we know with Flipgrid, the most important thing is the voice, because the voice lets us know what they understand. And they can build in confidence then, and then grow to that point where they're happy to be seen as well as heard. So there's some brilliant filters and frames that are going to take creativity to the next level. But that is not it, is it, Kathi? What else have we got?
No. So the other thing, okay, so there's so much exciting here. If I come back, boards. Now, I love that they named the boards because I probably would have called it backgrounds. But have you all seen these? So these are backgrounds, right? Where are the math people in the house, right? All the things that you can do with grid paper like this. I know in elementary we use things called geoboards a lot. There's just a lot that you can do with a beautiful graph like this. They've got some chart paper, things like with lines on them, like handwriting paper. And just, oh, look at that one. Oh, they used that one for their video the other day. I just noticed that, right? We still have our whiteboard and we still have a blackboard, but we've just got some other cool colors. You know your students are going to use this one every day, right? This is just like so cute and cool. And so to be able to have backgrounds like this to write on, to draw on, to put stickers on, to explain on, it's just awesome. But wait, there's more. Have you seen the split screen? Look at that. And so now we have this option where our students can, and my filter still held, so I'm still Lego-fied or whatever they're calling that. But yes, but we've got one side, there's me Lego-fied over there, and on the other side we've got sort of a flat board or background that we can still do things on, right, Lanny? What else could we do over there?
Well, what I was thinking was we could use the board side right now, and we could be placing some text on it. So I could play a game with pupils where actually, while I'm Legofied, I could be holding up an object, and I want people to guess what that object is. And I could actually type my clues onto the board side. And we could have a nice kind of game there where we're using our thinking skills and problem solving and things like that. So there's a kind of nice little game that we could actually play there to start with. Or we could have a game of kind of reveal the object, linking it in, of course, with the learning, because that's the important thing. It's not just playing games for the sake of it, but always make sure it links to the kind of the teacher and learning, and it's being used for a purpose. But we don't just have to type in that area either, do we, Kathi?
No, I'm just looking. Did you see how all the options we have just with text styles? So yes, you can choose your font, right? And they have all these cool fonts now that just make me so happy. But they also, oops, I just lost my effects. They also, there we go. So I tend to choose the same ones all the time. They also have, I'm trying to move this out of the way, the ability to color the text. Stroke means outline. Did you see the black outline that I had put around that other one? So you can outline your text. Right now it's kind of in a pink color, but watch as I change that to a yellow outline or a purple outline or whatever that color is, right? So you can even change the outline. They've just really thought of everything with this iteration. And you can put a background color. So right now it has a purple background behind it, but I don't suppose yellow would work too well, but I could make a red background. So there are just tons of options for students to label things, for them to really get creative with it. And I'm just within text, there's a lot of upgrades. But you're right, Lanny, it's not just that. Should we go and show some stickers?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
So a lot of this has already been here. What's new?
Oh, well, I tell you, the one thing that I really got kind of excited about was, I mean, we have the emojis, which people have been using so well, but I saw an awful lot of maths teachers getting really excited on social as well about some new stickers that had landed. Had you seen that as well, Kathi?
I believe I have, yes. So, well, there's a couple different ways to do this. And actually, my favorite way, just because I'm kind of a cut to the chase kind of a person, is when I go in, I'll click on emoji, which is where the cool stickers and things live. And then here it comes. I use search. Do you use that too, Lanny?
I'll be honest, I like to scroll through, and I'm one of these people who, when I see something, I get inspiration from it. So sometimes scrolling through, you'll see something and you'll get an idea on how to use it. But if you've got to save time, yeah, use the search.
Yeah, there's you're absolutely right. You know what? I know, like, if I read just having these headings over here is new, right? So we've got tabs that sort of break these down for us. Now, I'll just show you a couple of my favorites. I love what Cindy's been doing these sticker packs for us, and she's amazing, from Flipgrid. And there are these, hang on a second, having a slow scroll kind of a day. We'll see them soon. She's done some words like boom and pow and wow that jump just like the old comic books, you know, and so they're really, really fun to use. Mine aren't loading too fast, I think, because I've got multi-things streaming right now. But those are great. And then just the other day, did you all see that she added a whole, oh my goodness, a whole ASL, American Sign Language, the entire alphabet, come on back, is down here. There are hands in every skin color spelling every letter of the alphabet. And just what a nod to our friends in the HOH community and all the work that Microsoft's doing around accessibility, that this is just such a cool addition. And I have a feeling that there are kids who don't know sign language who are going, this will spark an interest in them. This might create a passion. They'll be like, wait a minute, this is a way that people talk. And I think for some of our younger learners, this might inspire some kids to learn a new language.
I think as well, it's going to have a bigger impact than I think we can expect, because you're going to have children, as you said, who don't know sign, but know a there may be a child in their class who uses sign, and his peers are going to be able to interact and engage with him in a way that they may never have been able to before. And really what you're doing there is you are helping to strengthen that community that you have within your class. And that's what I love about Flipgrid, is that, I mean, in the last year, what have we seen? 1,000+ updates that just focus on accessibility and inclusion. And that's what really makes this so special. So that inclusion of the American Sign Language is just amazing, absolutely amazing. But again, with the use of stickers, it's going to allow the pupils to kind of be even more creative in everything that they do. I'm looking forward to the old-fashioned comic strips where we've got these action heroes, maybe with the different sounds going on, and really utilising the kind of the pause button and bringing these stickers into play as well in what they create in the classroom. It's going to be really exciting to see what they do.
Well, I've been playing while you've been talking, because that's something, you know, I just have to do when I've got my hands on Flipgrid. One of the next things we wanted to show all of you, if you haven't explored this yet, it's really, really cool. Whenever you click on any object, so it could be this word boing or this, you get these new controls that are out here around the outside. So I deleted something a moment ago and it gives me the familiar trash can, but there are a few new ones, and these are great to play with. Give your kids playtime with this. Before you give them a serious assignment, give them lots of playtime. And I have a purple slash in the middle of my face. That's okay. This button right here is duplicating it. So easily, quickly, if there's a sticker that you want to put all over the screen, you can duplicate with that little button here. This one's pretty neat, and I chose this emoji on purpose because this will flip it. Which is so cute. And I used this last week. If you've ever had something that you're holding up in your right hand, but it's mirrored on the screen and you meant to point the other direction, this mirroring capability is a really cool thing that you can use because it'll face the other direction. So I really like that one too. And then this last one here is a layering option. So I'm going to put this emoji, let me stretch him out a little bit. I'm going to put it on top of the word boing. Let's say I want it to be behind the word boing. If I click this down arrow, it will layer it to the back. So send backwards. Do you see that? And that's kind of a hidden feature that not a lot of people knew. I've been wanting a layering capability. I think I could do it before, but it wasn't as easy, but now they've just given us an easy control. So any object that you add to a screen or your students add to a screen, they can be layered on top of each other, and you can make really cool things like Flipmoji scenes, right? So we wanted to make sure we told you about that. And Lanny, we are at the end of our second column.
The one thing that we need as well, which is brilliant, just like we can mirror the objects that we paste on, the stickers and things like that, we can mirror ourselves as well in recording, can't we?
I did it the other day and I don't remember.
So I think it's if you go to options.
Oh, that's where it is. Yes.
And we've got the mirror video. So, I mean, some people have pointed out today that if you were kind of, I don't know if you're like me, but you go to point at something one way and it's like, oh, right, it's where am I pointing? It's actually, if you flip the video kind of and you do it and you're looking at the screen, it'll line up where you are expecting it to be. So that's one thing that's kind of really been pointed out today. And of course, you've got all the goodness out of the screen recording, which makes Flipgrid such a kind of perfect tool to kind of get pupils capturing their work. And I mean, the option as well now where you can record without audio, I believe that option is as well, isn't it? So you can maybe even do silent movies and utilize the objects that go in.
Yeah, and silent screencasts, which I think is really nice. You know, as a teacher, especially if you're working with ESL kids or you teach with an ESL frame of mind, a lot of times you want to take the language out of it and just sort of do a pointing demo, right? And we see a lot of tutorials like that are online that are really accessible to anybody in the world, a hearing person or a not hearing person, and anybody who speaks any language, because it's really just more demonstrative. And so it's neat to be able to make a screencast and turn your audio off while you're doing that. So this is nothing new. It's fairly new. I mean, it came out last year, but the ability to do screencasting with Flipgrid, and also to be able to upload your own video clips. So those are still there. They're hanging out over in options.
And I think we're doing okay. And someone's asked a question, in which edition we have all these features. What we're using now is actually the online version right now. All of this that we are kind of going through now is available right now. So if you were watching this on one screen, on another screen you went to flipgrid.com and logged in, you will have access to all of this right now. And I am just checking, I've got my phone here, and I'm just checking because some people use Android, some people use iPhone, and look, if I can hold it up, I've got all those wonderful tools available to me right at the bottom there that we've just gone through. So whether I'm using a mobile device or whether I'm using a PC, a laptop, I've got access to all of these, all this, as our friend Stephen Eustace would say, all this goodness.
When Flipgrid does a launch, they make sure it works everywhere, right? They're so good about that. So we've got device and system parity so that everything works everywhere. I'm going to do a quick recording right here because there was one more thing we wanted to show. So I'm going to get my 3, 2, 1 countdown, and I'm going to say, Lanny Watkins is awesome. And then I will stop that recording and go to next. And I will go to next, and I will do my selfie. Look, there's another prompt there letting me know exactly what to do. Love this for people who are new to Flipgrid. Oh, that is just awful. Okay, redo selfie. Oh, that's awful too. Okay, we're going to give it up. And then I won't even decorate my selfie, but I'm going to click next because we wanted to show you this. Oh boy, that is just bad. And clicking submit. And look at this. So success, there's my video and it's been uploaded, but I love this screen that you're met with once you submit a video. And this is new too. So just from this screen, it looks so pretty and it's really easy to understand for anybody. You can download a QR code of your video, and you all know how much I love Flipgrid AR, right? So if you have a QR code of any Flipgrid video and you scan it with the Flipgrid app, it pops off the page in augmented reality, and it's fabulous, and I use it a million different ways, and I love talking about Flipgrid AR. Anyway, that's how you can get that. You could also download your own video, or you can download just your selfie, which I won't be doing with this one. And then we'll click complete and come back to our group here. Oh no, wait, was this? Yes, this is our group where we put this cool new thing. And then we can see down here, oh, Maria's been playing with us. Oh, and Alfonso, hey, you guys, yay. Oh, thanks for contributing. So we've seen that, and you know what? I'm glad you guys did that because now we have examples for column 3, and we're getting to the end of all the new updates. I think we're okay on time, right, Lanny?
I think we've done a brilliant job so far, considering what we've covered.
So much excitement. So Maria from North Macedonia is a friend of ours, and so I'm going to open hers up. Oh, and we can see Alfonso too. You had no idea you were going to be that famous today, did you, Alfonso? So now you're on like a global webinar and you're famous, and you're from Portugal, which is so cool. So Maria and Alfonso, now look at the interface over here. Just wanted to show you, and this was the next thing on our list. This is a bigger viewing screen, so we get to see the videos in a bigger way. I love the up next section on the right, and if there were more students who had contributed to this grid, they would be listed here in order, so we'd know what's coming up next. I think that's cool to have those little video thumbnails off to the right hand side, don't you?
Yeah, I really like that. You know, just seeing what's there, and even kind of being able to kind of jump to certain ones as well that are within that grid. I really like that interface. It was really neat and nice to see. And as you can see there as well, it's really colourful when they've used filters and to do their selfies as well, and when they've used stickers on them. It's brilliant.
Love it, Maria. And down here, just like before, you know, on former Flipgrid, pre-update Flipgrid, we were always able to add comments, and that's still a thing. So we can add a comment, knowing that if it's this add a comment, right? Because I would be adding a comment that would be seen publicly, right? So it'd be letting me make a video comment in response to Maria's video, which I'm not going to do right now. I've turned my camera back on, but that's a way that I could leave a video comment. Coming soon, coming in the fall. I'm so happy about this. I am so happy. We can't show it to you today because it's not ready, but it's coming. Text comments. So I think it's really going to up the engagement level for a lot of kids, particularly kids who were reluctant to be on screen quite as much. We definitely have a whole bunch of what I'll call protections or safeguards or whatever for those. It's not protections. It's alternative ways to participate in Flipgrid. So now not only can they use filters and they can use stickers and they can split screen, or they could put a whiteboard up and just record their voices, they're showing what they know, but the addition of text-based commenting by students and by teachers is going to be a phenomenal, much welcome, much celebrated addition to the Flipgrid platform. And I don't know an exact date, but they said it's coming this fall. So get ready for that. All right, are we ready to go up top, Lanny, and talk about that last stuff? I'll come back to my dashboard.
Yes, that was it. That was it. I think we're all ready to go back to the last few bits. And you may be one of those teachers that's new to Flipgrid that's joined us today, and you may be thinking, I haven't got time to sit down and make these resources, and I may not be the most creative of teachers that can make some of these groups look and topics look so colourful. But the great thing is there is a wonderful, wonderful community out there of teachers who use Flipgrid across the world who have said, this is what I've made, here, have it. And it's called Discovery Library, and it is jam-packed. Should we dive into it, Kathi?
We should. It's up at the top here. It does say the word discovery. So all of you who are like former Flipgridites who've been using this for a long time like we have long called this the Disco Library. Disco was always just short for discovery. It looks like that's been named back to discovery. I can tell you I'm never letting disco go in more ways than one. So here we are at the Discovery, aka Disco Library.
And big changes as well with this, but exciting changes as well. There's so many things, Kathi, that I'm seeing in here that aren't just helping teachers to kind of raise levels of engagement and levels of creativity, but we're seeing some real kind of time-saving options that have been dropped in for teachers as well. The new look, I love the logo as well. Just like on the, have you noticed, it's like simple, strong, powerful, just like on the discussion one right at the front.
And did you see that you can also search right from up at the very top? So when I used to do PD, I mean, like 3 weeks ago when I was doing PD on Flipgrid, I often told people, you know, scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's going to be a place where you can search. And it's still, I just went so fast. It's still down there, but they've added that to the top because I think they realize I'm a teacher. I'm busy. I'm teaching fractions. I need some fraction stuff. And you can literally right here at the top now just type in the word fractions and have at it.
And I'm sure the probability of finding what you were looking for is pretty high, knowing that there's nearly 25,000 topics available to you for free.
Lanny, if it's okay with you, I got to jump in and tell the next one because I am so excited about it. I put out giant tweets about this because I was like, wait, what? Like, they didn't even tell us this was coming. You know, even people who are sort of, you know, in Flipgrid every day of their lives like we are, I had no idea this was a thing that they were building or that it was coming or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I used it and I'm like, whoa, this is the coolest thing I never even knew I needed until now it's there. So they added this thing. I am a Discovery Library girl. I love going in here. I like basically stealing ideas from other people and then using them for myself. I think it's fabulous. But now we've got this thing called collections. So out of these 25,000 topics that people have curated and given to us and put in here, we can create collections, which is just so nice. And my big giant tweet that I put out said it's like a filing cabinet system for the disco library. And yeah, it's still the disco library. So if I called it, let me just call it fractions. If I had a whole bunch that, oops, did I not hit it? Sorry, got too excited. Okay. Oh, I have one now called fractions. So I have a collection with 0 items in it called fractions. But if I came up here and I started searching for lessons on fractions, and let's say I went through these and I actually evaluated and found some really, really great ones. Oh, I know who Lori is. This one's definitely going to be great. So if I click on this one, and oh my goodness, what a great fractions lesson. I love this. This is going to be a prompt that I want to use with my students. It's really, really cool. All I have to do is click save. And I can add it to a brand new collection from here. I could start a new one, or I could drop it up in my fraction collection. It just went there. Trust it. It really, really did. So if I come back to discovery, and look, now my fraction has 1 lesson in there. And so you can build collections of some of your favorite prompts that are already there in the disco library. I did it the other day with this one, and this is what got me so excited. So you might have heard of a thing called a flip hunt. A flip hunt is something I invented 3 years ago now, and it's a video-based scavenger hunt that happens in Flipgrid. And there are good, really strong ones of all the things that you really should do. And then there are some where I think people have gone in different directions, and I want to steer them back toward really, really good flip hunt examples. So I went searching through the disco library, searched all kinds of with the hashtag, without the hashtag, and I found so far, I found 19 great examples of flip hunts, so that if I'm doing PD and I want to share this with other teachers and I don't want to click on one that's maybe not the best example, I've curated this list, and this is so handy for me because I do PD on flip hunts a lot. And so now I've got some really great user created flip hunts all in one place that I can come to. And not only that, but I can share this easily, this whole collection. So if Landy's like, I want that, I do PD on flip hunts, great, I can copy this and I can share that with him. As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy this right now and I'm going to drop it in the team chat. Would that be okay?
I think that's perfect. I think that's a great idea.
If I can get to the team chat. Here we go. And Lanny, I'm going back there, but would you be willing to talk about the new partners and things that we have in the Disco library?
Yeah, certainly. So not only is it teachers who are kind of adding content there that can easily be downloaded, but there are partners who are saying, we can see that Flipgrid is exciting, we can see that Flipgrid is engaging pupils of all ages, and we want to be involved in that. And we can see on some of these tiles that are here, we've got partners that have got involved, such as Langston League, Metropolitan Museum of Art, Minecraft Education Edition, and which I know that my daughters at the moment are Minecraft crazy, so that's something they're going to be really excited about. Something that really every single teacher needs to kind of invest some time in, and looking at the wonderful resources they provide. And that's looking at the Made by Dyslexia resources that they've provided. And Wonderopolis are there as well, who have, I think it was Flipgrid Live 2 years ago, I think they announced them. And I think the BBC are on there, and Microbits, Lego Education. There is just so much to kind of dive in and have a look at. Breakout EDU, there's been an awful lot that's on there, and I'm just scared about leaving out some of these wonderful partners that are on there, but you could talk and talk and talk, and you may find that there is something in there that you are already using with your pupils. And what I would suggest is that invest some time in looking at the Discovery Library and looking at the partners, but then also what other teachers have produced as well, because that can really help you kind of, once again, this is always about enhancing and enriching the teaching and learning that is going on, because that's what Flipgrid's all about. It's about building a community of learners within your class who engage with each other and support each other and learn from each other. And these partners and these other teachers who produce these resources are going to help you to take those next steps.
Absolutely. And I think this is new too. Like I've been a huge fan of Wonderopolis for probably, I think 15 years ago, I used it in my classroom. Yeah, there used to be a widget that I kind of had on my web page. And so it comes up and they have a wonder of the day. So now Flipgrid has added the wonder of the day, which there you go. There's an instant topic. You can just share that out with your class and have them wonder about the wonder. And it changes every single day. Or you can look through all the other topics in Wonderopolis. That is a really, really cool partner. And I know Flipgrid is adding more partners all the time, including, I just saw this one actually this morning, Genially. So I love the team at Genially. I love creating with Genially. And so now they are a partner too. And that just made me really happy to see that there as well. Bunsey is a partner. I mean, it's amazing, all the ed tech companies that are coming together to make life easier and better and more enriching for us and our students. All right, we made it through. Guys, we made it through. I'm going to come back to this screen. Oops, no, I'm not. I'm going to come back to this screen, and I want to show you, this is where we were. Oops. These were the 25 things that we pulled out. We might have even covered 26 or 27 somehow in there that we pulled out that we found were new, cool new feature releases in Flipgrid since they were announced at Flipgrid Live and released last week on August 5th. So we hope that you had fun learning, exploring, and seeing where they are and what they can do. We all know none of us are going to be experts at this week, right? So we're going to have some time to do what Anne says, play to learn, push all the buttons, she says, and we'll definitely have to have some experimenting. And I'm betting a lot of us will learn a lot of it from our students, right? And the things that they do and they get creative with. I hope so. I hope we learn more from them than they do from us some days. And so we want to leave you with this. This caveat, this disclaimer. At the end of these sessions that are being offered, thanks to a partnership between Microsoft EDU and Q.org, there are no official certificates that are being issued. You didn't have to register for this webinar. We don't have your email, and so these won't be emailed out to you. But at the end of sessions that I've done as part of this Global Ed Tech Academy series, I tend to put a slide in at the bottom that looks like a certificate. And Lanny and I have signed this and dated it, and we've got the title and everything you'd need. If you think your boss will accept this, please go ahead and screenshot it now, and you will have a screenshot that you may be able to use as proof of professional development credits or continuing ed credits. What do you call it in Wales, Lanny? CTE or something?
Yeah, CPD, Continual Professional Development.
Okay. So we wanted to leave you with this, and we wanted to thank you. We have ended just on time, and I suppose we could take a few questions if there are any still in the chat, and we'll leave that certificate up there for those of you who want to screenshot it while we take about 3 or 4 more minutes to handle chat questions. How's that, Lanny?
That sounds great. Well, what I would say, first of all, thank you ever so much for coming along to this session today. I know that I've really enjoyed it. Just present anytime I get an opportunity to present with Kathi, it's always great fun. It was a daunting task when you saw that list to start with, but yeah, we made it through. But I want you to invest time in Flipgrid, and I want you to sit down and I want you to play with these new features. And as you're playing with these new features, start thinking, how can I use this in my lessons? What could I use this for? But also think about your colleagues and what colleague would benefit maybe from this feature within their subject area or with their age. So kind of spend some time playing with it, as Anne says, because that's when you start to discover things, and that's when the ideas flow as well.
I'm on my other computer looking, and I just got kicked out, so I'm not seeing the chat.
All right. So yeah, there's lots of thank yous, and like I said, thank you for coming along. We hope that you found it helpful. I often say when you do something like this, you're simply scratching the surface of the tip of the iceberg. And we know from what we heard at Flipgrid Live that as we are just getting used to using